This is what will be needed to change the fuses on the in the control box on an Aquas or an Advantage system. First, you'll need an electric drill with nothing less than a 4mm drill bit, a flat screwdriver, needle nose pliers, screws to reassemble, and some kind of a nut driver for reassembly. This is the box here, ready to be disassembled. First, you'll have to drill out the rivets on the box. Just center up on top of the rivet and just drill the head off. As soon as the head is removed, you can stop. Move the little plug off the end of the drill and continue. As soon as the head spins off, you can stop. I don't know. Drill out all the screws on both sides. Be careful not to penetrate the box. There are some sensitive components inside the box that could be damaged if you penetrate the box. You just drill the heads off just like that. Don't worry if part of the head doesn't stays on, it won't hurt anything. It'll get pulled off in a moment. After all the heads have been drilled off the rivets, roll the box over on its back, stick a screwdriver in between the sides, and pry it apart. Do both sides first, and then you can work your way to the top. Be careful not to rip the gasket that's in between the sides here, but you can roll this right over, pull that off. Same with this side. Stick a screwdriver between the two, pull it back. What you need to take great care with is this cable that connects this USB port is very short. So you're best off to take the back side off first, pry it right on up, and pull it apart. As you can see, the USB cable here is very short. So you'll need to pull that off if you want to remove the lid. Take this off, pull it off there. Locking area, if you can see right here, this slides in on that connector. Then the top can be pulled off and put aside. Underneath this rivet here are some very sensitive components. Take great care when you're removing these rivets. With the needle nose pliers, you can get in here and remove these rivets that are left over. You may have to work at it a little bit, but by all means do not get inside of this and drill that out. You will damage this board. It's very easy to just take these rivets, take the end of it off, pull the nail out, and remove the remnant. Do not leave any pieces of rivets inside the box. They could get into the electrical components and short them out. Take great care in pulling out all the rivets. Just pull them out very easily. Make sure that no rivets are left inside. Turn the box over. Make sure you shake everything out. We want absolutely no pieces of rivet or shavings inside the box. Inspect carefully. Now that you've taken out all the rivets, it's time to change the fuses. With the same pair of needle nose pliers, you can grab the fuses, just slightly pull them out, and check to see if they're burnt. You'll be able to see it. There's a little wire right in there. This one looks good. You can return it. Well, let's see. Let's pull them both out first. Normally, it's the negative that's burnt. One side is positive, one side is negative. Do not use anything larger than a 2 amp fuse. Now it's time to reassemble. Take the fuse and you can just relocate it Press it in carefully. In place. Make sure it's well seated. It's kind of tight in here, so you just have to feel around. Make sure that the piece is well seated. Try not to touch any electrical components on the board. Static electricity could destroy the board. Okay, 2 fuses have been reinstalled, pressed into place. Take great care that nothing has been disturbed. All the wires are nice and tight. Everything should be good. If you didn't take anything apart, it probably is fine. Okay, now it's time to reassemble. You may want to take this, the box, take any burrs off that it may have. Just inspect it, make sure there aren't any shavings inside the box or the cover, and then we're ready to reinstall it. Let me pull this one rivet off. Right there. Take the burr off. Make sure there aren't any pieces in it. Ready to reassemble. Take this cable for the USB. It's tight, so you have to take this in there and install it with these 2 little tracks towards the back. Put them on, stick it on, make sure it's well installed and tight, and you're good. Now we can take this. Make sure that this USB connector stays well connected, and slide the lid back over the box. Slide it back this direction to line it up. And the other thing that I may have forgotten to mention, you will need some sealant. Just some good quality RTV or silicone sealant. You'll need that only in the corners. Sometimes in the corners there isn't a good seal. You put a little silicone in here. Some in here. And some on here. Lift this off a little bit. Give myself some room to work. And some right in here. That should be the only place you'll need any sealant. And you can slide the back cover on. Line up the holes. Now we're ready to reinstall. I have these little 6mm Tech screws. They work perfect for this kind of job. Here I have a handful of these and my electric battery powered drill, nut driver, set my torque so I don't strip the screws out. Very important you don't strip the screws out. I'm ready to start reassembly. Any screw will work, as long as it fits tight and locks the lid on. Be very careful that the screws aren't too long. They may hit the board on the other side. So, now the box is completed and sealed. All the corners are sealed. All the screws are installed and tight. You're ready to reinstall on the system.